Welcome everyone to the Freljord Finals playoff preview. This is the division liaison. I already messed up already. Don't worry, we got tons of more screw ups coming up next from the host here. This is the AMO. I actually have Schist first coming in. They are the number 3 seed. They lost in some tiebreakers that put them in the 3 seed, but they powered through the first round and the second round to make it here in the finals. And I want to welcome Desi Requiem and Senegicia. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
So I'm going to share my screen now. You
right.
guys have no idea what's coming. And we're going to play a little play along, right? How do I do
All
it?
right.
How do I do this? Share screen. There we go. Go live. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Okay, that's them clicking in here. So we're gonna have some fun and then some seriousness about this final. So, first, why no Timo? Why has there been no Timo?
That's because our Teemo player is our jungler. Usually plays
Uh,
Teemo top.
I'm gonna be honest right now. I played some Teemo top, and I just didn't feel comfortable enough to play it in the league. But might see some next season.
Okay, so probably not here in the finals, but since we're talking about top lane, here are the top laners. We actually have the top laner here for Shistorm, and against your opponents in the last round, they said you'd be playing some Shen, because apparently you play a lot of Shen, which is my favorite champion. So you're like a man after my heart.
Yeah, Shen's been a great champion for me, man. But like, you gotta pull out something different every now and again.
So talk about this matchup real quick, because the nutcase, if you can see here, I think there are all bruisers, and he doesn't mind the spin to win.
Yeah, like I think it'll be a good one. But like, he plays some champions I don't usually see Lucian top all that much. But like, I think it's gonna be a good match
I think it's gonna be.
for
I think this is a good be match, and we'll notice the parallels between the teams. You see the stats between the two of you. Obviously, he's a little bit more solo lane focused, and you're a little bit more team play aspect with the champions and style pools. But other than that, we'll see how the rest of the stats go across both teams here, and how close and even this match really is, even though it's the 3-5 match. So. Rank the dragons however you want, color, design, what abilities they give you, which ones that when you get them the enemy team cries the most. However, whatever your rankings are, rank the dragons 1 through 5.
Sangeeta, do you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go for this. You know, Elder, it's got a great beard. I love it. I'm gonna have to put Elder in number 1 here. Personally, I love the color combinations of Wind and Ocean Drakes. They're gonna take like second and third seed. Honestly, I'm also a geologist, so I do like the Earth Drake there. So I'm gonna put Earth Drake there in 4th and put Infernal Drake there in 5th. Just not quite up to my aesthetic.
All right. Kind of going a little bit off of his, but also the abilities of Grant's Elder. You know, got the beard, got nice. Could stroke that beard when he's thinking or something like that. And then the ability of Grant's really good, real good. Then I'd have to go give it to Cloud Drake. Really like the ult CD, especially on champions that it's like it helps with movement.
Like
And yeah, like Shen. And color is great. Next I'd have to go for Ocean, like the all the bushes really helps with champions like Caitlyn and Rengar. And sadly, I'm a colorblind man, so I can't really see the color all that much, but looks great. Then I have to get it to my man, the Infernal Drake. Just having 4 Infernals and then to the Soul, it really helps out the team. Again, colorblind man, can't really see Infernal. And Mountain, I'm sorry I have to play solo. Put a little special place in my heart because I mostly play tanks and stuff like that, but all the other Drakes kind of outshine you in the abilities.
Okay. So since we're in the river, let's talk about the junglers. We got Berserker and Monte Carlo Method. How do you think this match is going to go in the finals?
I think if Berserker gets his Kha'Zix, it's going to be over, man. Sorry, but like him on Kha'Zix, it's way too good.
Well, you notice that he hasn't actually played Kha'Zix. These are the champions played down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
Hasn't played it yet. Well, fortunately, I think Berserker has a lot more of map pressure. He tends to be, able to shut down the enemy junglers a lot more in the experience throughout the league. And I personally, like, even just looking at the stats, he wins in the gold per minute, wins in the CS per minute, wins in the KDA. So, I think he'll still perform really well in the finals match.
Okay, I'm excited to kind of see how these two pair off against each other. Monte Carlo Method seems to always just have a knack of eventually showing up at the right place at the right time. But if he's getting outpaced by Berserker, I think you guys have a real strong chance of taking the finals here. So we'll move on to, you guys are playing an ARAM. Which person on your team re-rolls twice and then curses that their champions suck?
This one, it's really up in the air. We play ARAM for fun, or if like we got the time to play it. So, I think it'd have to go to the support who's also here, Ryan.
Thank you.
Alicia.
That makes you feel any better? I'm voting for myself on this one too.
Okay. So NA is also known as NAA RAM, and that's because everyone plays mid, or goes mid eventually. And we got a couple of spicy people here in the mid lane with Holo and Deke Beast. A lot of people say that Deke Beast is this team's best player. Do you guys feel the same way?
I'm gonna have to say yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. I definitely think Deke Beast is their star player, the one we have to look out for the most.
Yeah.
Also a versatile champion pool. We got some Quinn going on for Holo versus like a mid lane Morgana. That most people don't see those type of champions still mid lane. Do you think this is gonna be the most volatile lane?
Yes, I think this lane is gonna be win or lose for either member. It's not gonna. I don't see this lane going even. It's gonna fall one side or the other side.
And just gotta agree with Tsungicia there. If I can, it gotta go either way. It's like, especially if junglers come in and start wreaking havoc in the mid lane along with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of about dictating the pace. A long time ago, someone moved into someone else's apartment because he needed a place to crash. Eventually, that kid grew up, and the owner of the apartment, had to teach him how to drive. So, who drives your team?
Definitely have to say it's either the jungler or the AD carry for our team, Berserker or Zenial. So
in this case, who's Travis teaching Double Lift to drive?
Probably Zenial.
I was gonna say Berserker, but hey, we can agree to disagree.
Okay, so we'll move on to the bot lane AD carries, and these two, for the fact that both of you agree that mid lane may be the most volatile, both of your teams have voted MVPs the most for their AD carries. As you can see, their champion pools are pretty diverse. They're playing everything. Their KDAs are great. Their CS per minute is pretty good. Gold per minute's high. Kill participation's high. Why do you think this is such a bot lane focused two teams that made it to the finals?
Well, even playing in solo queue, you'll notice a lot that junglers and mid laners will do 4-man ganks bot lane, and if you can have a strong enough bot lane or synergy between the AD carry and the support, I think being able to fend off those 4-mans just puts the enemy team so far behind. So having such a good bot lane, having such a strong bot lane, gives you such an edge in some of these matches.
I'd have to agree with Tsungicia there. Those 4-man ganks bot, yeah, they may be ruthless, but if we can pull it out, it's gonna. They coordinated them so well. It's gonna decrease the morale of the enemy team. Gonna make them play probably a little bit worse, and then help us steamroll through the entire game.
I like to hear that. I kind of like to hear that. Since we're talking about piling on in the bot lane, which worst meta bot lane duo do you want to face in a scrim? Or you want to just play some flex queue and all of a sudden you got one of these frickin' lanes showing up?
You want to go first, Cindy?
I'll go first on this one because I actually played a game 2 days ago with the Swain Darius matchup. Now I'm gonna vote for that one because that was awful to play against. There was like almost nothing, like not even being able to walk up and farm. I hated that matchup so much.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Singisia here. Like, yeah, I would like to go for the memes, go for the Yasuo and the brothers duo bot, but just the Darius Swain, man. The Darius, even though he kind of fed his butt off, but like that lane did not seem great. And like I can't go for Ivern Rengar because I just like the knees, man. It's like Ivern Rengar bot all them bushes. Our jungler would really appreciate that, but gotta go with the knees.
So that leads us into the support players here. We got Singisia here. Talk about this champion pool. It is by far the largest of anyone in this match. During the regular season, you literally played, what is that, 8 different champions in like 10 total games possible?
Yeah, so it's kind of different. It's kind of weird because last time we played in casual league at the beginning of the semester, I was the AD carry player, and so I've transitioned into the support over about a month or two, and so I've been learning a bunch of random supports. So a lot of the early supports have kind of come into my pool or come out of my pool. The pool has changed a lot just because I've gone into it. Stuff like the e-girls have kind of stayed, Leona stayed, so those are the big ones that I usually play.
And of course, Pantheon stayed.
Pantheon's fun.
Yeah.
Not too often though you see a Maokai in as support, like, right? But then, I mean, that's just a nice plethora of champions here that we see coming out from both sides. So.
Oh yeah.
And we got just a couple more. Your team is now a Riot skin line. Which line is your team?
Ooh, I don't know. I like a lot of these skin lines, but I gotta go with Odyssey for mine.
Are you going with Odyssey?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. I'm going with Prehistoric Hunters. We're Schist Storm. We're rocks getting thrown around in a tornado. Rocks are old. I'm going Prehistoric Hunters.
Yeah.
That is great. So we've found out a little bit about your team, a tiny bit about this team. What else you guys have to say going into the finals here?
Think Casey, you want to go first?
Honestly, this has been a roller coaster of a thing for me going into a support role, so I'm kind of just hoping that I can not tilt my AD carry going into this one.
Honestly, for me, first time going into this on a full team, it's been enjoyable. Hope it's a good match, and this team, we're coming for the crown.
You're coming for the crown. Okay, so any shout-outs, call-outs you guys want to do before we kick it to the intermission and I interview the other guys?
I got a shout-out for our coach, Tony Dorgard. He's really helped us out. Really, he's really helped our team come together, helped us get better, and as the days go by, we'll prove that we can come up and show up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else to add on to that.
Okay, yeah, so I want to thank both of you for spending a little bit of time with me tonight and having a little bit of fun, getting to know you guys a little bit better, and also kind of figuring out how this matchup is going to go in the finals. It is what time on Saturday?
It is It is 8 p.m. EST on Saturday. So
that means everyone get up early, watch Worlds Finals, then make sure you take that real morning, early afternoon nap so you can get up and ready again to do your trick or treating, and then come home, eat all your candy, watching the Freljord Finals between Schist and this team.
we were. Fun fact: we were actually talking about that earlier. Get up, watch Worlds with the friends, with the fam, and and then having the day to spend, relax, probably practice, and then coming in ready to go. So, yeah.
That is great. So I'm going to hit the pause button here so we can get set up for the next group. And I want to thank the two of you for joining me.
Anytime.
All right.
And we're back. This time we have the Freljord Finals preview from this team. We've talked to him earlier this season. We have the Nutcase. Hi, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
So just like I did with Schist, I got some surprises for you. I'm going to share my screen now, and you're just going to follow along. How about that?
That sounds good.
Yeah, so real quick, finals, number 3, Schist versus number 5, this team. The actual difference in the standings through the regular season was only 1 game difference. And when we break down these two teams, you'll notice a lot of very similarities, at least in the stats, on how they present going into the finals. So I'm pumped about this matchup. Let's get it started. As I said in the room, why has there been no Teemo?
Just fuck ranged top laners. Get those out of my game. No.
Well, speaking of top laners, we have Desi Rec Room versus the Nutcase yourself, and as you can see here, we have Bruiser, Tank, Bruiser, I don't know, Volibear's a mix, Darius. Whoa! Is that a Lucian top, my man? What'd you just say about top laners?
It was bad. It was a mistake. I mean, not really a mistake. We picked it intentionally, but it was a mistake looking back on it. Hindsight's 20/20.
I mean, if anyone remembers Badger, oh my gosh, his Lucian top memes. No,
it was a hot pick earlier this season.
Yeah, a bunch of people probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, so how do you think top lane's gonna go from the top laner?
Oh, I guess it just depends on who plays better on the day. We have I have a hard time playing into champions like Ornn and Malphite, and he plays a lot of those types of champions. So we'll see how it goes. If I don't get 4-banned, maybe I have a chance, but always gotta just cross my fingers.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna be playing tanks while you're spinning the wind, so that's how top lane's gonna go.
I hope so. That would be the hope. It's surprising how many times I just get completely banned out. If I don't pick first round, more often than not, it's 4 bans thrown at me.
Okay, well, we'll move on since it seems to be a little bit of a touchy subject too. Rank the dragons. You can choose by color choice, their aesthetics, the buffs they give, the ones that you hate seeing on the enemy team, whatever, how you ever want to rank them, 1 through 5. Go.
I think for Freljord division, probably one of the strongest dragons is the Cloud Drake, actually.
Ooh.
If you looked in top lane, I think the most played top laner in Freljord division has been Shen, if I'm correct.
That is correct.
Right? So Cloud Drake on Shen is insane. Just being able to have your ultimate on like a 60-second cooldown and just being able to ult across the map and also while having side lane pressure with your Titanic Hydra and your Sunfire Cape, you can clear waves super fast and you can get around the map even faster with that super short cooldown on Cloud Drake. And also it really helps setting up the taunt when you land because you get that big move speed buff. It's really, really great for this in general, because a lot of teams also in Freljord are really, really interested in team fighting. I've noticed that a lot of teams they're playing for the team fight, and a lot of fights come down to whose ults are up, where are the cooldowns at. So I think for Freljord division, Cloud Drake is actually really underrated.
So you have 1. You got 4 more to go.
All right, so second place, I'd have to put. I'm a bruiser. You know, I always like it when I get Ocean Drake, even when it's not Soul. You know, it's like it always feels good. You know, to have a little bit HP regen in lane. Uh, so number two is definitely gonna be Cloud Drake for me. Um, Number three, I am gonna go with Infernal Soul. Just because, you know, who doesn't like to do more damage on like every single attack? Number four, you're gonna put Elder, you know, because Elder's kind of, I feel like Elder's a bit more of like a niche dragon out there, you know. You don't always see him every game. But when you do see him, he definitely makes a splash. And then number five is gonna be our boy, our lonely boy, the Mountain Drake. You know, a couple people really, I think you get a lot of value out of Mountain Drake, but I think compared to the other four dragons, he's just kind of lacking there. In terms of the buff he gives, it's kind of basic. You know, it's like, oh, everybody gets Malphite passive. Okay, cool.
Yeah, well, the people that don't, you know, feel like they're the short people on the bus, we got the junglers. We got Berserker and Monte Carlo Method. Talk about this matchup for me.
So this matchup's going to be interesting. Berserker is obviously a very, very strong jungler. And actually, our jungler has stepped up a lot this year. Not only in his champion pool and his utility, but in terms of skill as a player. This season, he's almost busted into plat a couple times. He's gotten very close. And I think it's about the farthest he's ever climbed in solo queue. And so just this season alone, he's been doing a lot better on a micro scale as well as a macro scale, and we've been helping him out as much as we can. And he's been playing. If you look into past seasons, he's been playing a lot more bruisers and brawlers this season than in past seasons. And he's because in past seasons he's primarily played tanks. So it's kind of a shift for him, switching from that kind of farm tank style to kind of the bruiser gank style. Between the two different jungling types, and so he's been going through that change, and we've been really happy there. Their jungler Berserker. Now you don't see it very often at all because it's almost always banned out, but his Kha'Zix pick is insane.
Never
Like
been played. That's why it's not down there at the little bottom.
if you let that through, you know, basically say GG. Um, But I think you know Berserker's also very good. You know, obviously he's a high-ranked player. He's got a higher MVP score, which means he's made slightly more impact in some of his games. You know, he has a slightly higher farm rate. You know, meaning he's able to keep up on farm and look for some of these things that our jungler has been, you know, lacking a bit. You know, in terms of kill conversion. But you also notice that he plays a little more for himself, which isn't a bad thing, you know. But when it comes to team fights and fight coordination, you know, we're gonna have the slight edge because we're gonna try and make sure our resources are getting put on the carries rather than the jungler. You know, when if you're playing a carry style jungler, you know, that's good. You know, maybe you can get on the back line and do some damage. But for our team, you know, we're really happy where we're at, and we think we've got a good shot in the jungle matchup.
Okay, so going on from the jungle, we got you guys are doing a little bit of ARAM before your match, the little warm up practice. Which player on your team uses both the rerolls and then curses that they got shitty champions?
That's me, 100%. I pretty much hate playing anything that's not a bruiser. And you know, in ARAM, bruisers are not the best. I mean, if you get Mundo, you know, GG. But it's a rough time out there for some bruisers. So I almost always reroll when we get an ARAM myself, and then kind of cry a little bit when I don't get the champion I wanted, but it's okay.
So NA is known for being an ARAM in the mid lane during regular matches. Tell us about your mid lane matchup.
So our mid lane matchup, yeah, this is actually kind of crazy. If you look at both mid laners play a lot of champions. I'm just gonna say it. I think our mid lane has the edge here. He maybe doesn't, you know, have the highest kill count, but also you notice his death count's really low too. And he's really good at getting those small advantages, right? And making those count. Like if you're looking at like your CS score, and like how much gold, kill participation, right? Vision score, like he's really getting these small advantages and not giving anything up. So it's not that only is he not dying in lane and giving his enemy resources, but he's also taking advantages where he can and making good team plays. If you see his KP is just like super crazy high, almost 70% KP, and he's just all over the map, making great things happen in all the lanes.
Do you
And so
think?
I think there we're going to have an advantage where our mid laner is going to be better at roaming and warding and more attentive to our jungler and our lanes. So he's going to be able to be a better team player and and he's going to be able to win more of those matchups.
Do you think this is going to be the most versatile lane? Because this is a drastic wide champion pool for both players.
hmm Yep, and that's something I mentioned in our previous interview is that Deep Beast has a crazy large champion pool. It's immensely hard for players to pick on him because you ban out 3 of his champions. Oh, he's got 4 more that he's just as comfortable on.
So, kind of going from this, sounds like this is going to be a pretty important lane to watch for those casters while showing up your match. There once was a person that needed some help in life, and he found help from a great man. And then that man taught him how to drive. Who teaches your team how to drive?
So in our games, it's split between me and our mid laner, Deep Beast. Primarily Deep Beast, he steps up the most, making really good shot calls for us, and he's really a good clear leader. He is not only a great macro player, but also a fantastic micro player. So even in some situations where we're worried about holding a spell or summoning a spell, he can be really specific on how we need to play the team fight in order to win. Prepping us before the fight, before the game, saying if you're playing this champion, remember to do this and this, right? If you're and we're this is what our team's looking to do, right? And so me and Deke together are we make a good pair of shot callers because we often think on the same page. So when it comes to what calls to make, where to position the jungler, we usually have the same idea there, and we can help coordinate our jungler and our bot lane so everybody knows what the plan is and where we're going.
So definitely you got all the brains, and your one person just got all the clicking. And talking about all of the clicking, just like double lift, all you got to do is right click, and that's the 80 carries. We have both your team's most voted MVPs are the 80 carries.
Yep. So as we've been saying, playing through team fights, playing through bot lane, has been really, really important this season for I think a lot of teams in Freljord division. It's a big strategy that we've been going into is try and get our bot lane stable. Not even necessarily like ahead, but stable. At a point where if we get a good team fight, it's going to tip the scales to snowballing. That's the big things. We're playing through bot lane, trying to keep our bot lane as fed as the enemy bot lane or as behind as the enemy bot lane, right? We want to make sure that they're in the same position so that when it comes to a team fight, that we're not going to be outclassed by the enemy ADC, right? Especially since we're putting a lot more effort into getting utility picks in top and jungle. It's really important that we have strong and even carries when it comes to the team fights. Our ADC is very skilled, and he does a very very good job of putting that damage roll on his back, and I just outputting damage for days. It's amazing, what he can do.
I think while mid lane may be the most volatile, I think bot lane is what's going to end up being the main focus, just like the World's Play coming up. And speaking of bot lane focus, your team is going to go for some practice session tomorrow night, and you've shown up in Flex Queue, and your bot lane is facing a non-meta bot lane, and so practice is trash, they say. Which bot lane would you not want to face? One of these options or something else?
Pantheon support, has been difficult for us in the past. That's definitely one thing I wouldn't want to see. I'd say the worst out of those that are offered might be the let me see. I'd probably say the Lux Morgana they have a hard time with. Could just be, combination of roots and also lack of CC. Our support player has been, branching out into playing branching out his champion pool, and he likes to play a lot of lockdown supports. So getting paired against someone like Morgana is really could be difficult. But then also, they have if they're playing something super divey, that could also be difficult to deal with, like with the Pantheon Jarvan. But overall, they've shown very good versatility and ability to play slow. So I think even if they're put into a non-meta matchup, that they're going to be able to pull ahead there.
Okay. You've kind of touched on the supports here. They're the scores. They're the champions. Sengisia of Shiststorm has actually played the most champions during the regular season.
Yeah,
with 8.
So he has a super. We watched his Lulu performance in the last semifinals match, and he is pretty quick to the draw with those shields. He's got a very good sense of when it's important to shield his ADC, and he's very, very snappy about it, right? So you'll think your damage is gonna land, but he's really good with that cooldown and managing that cast time. So definitely a player to watch is going to be their support, with the fast hands. Our support, on the other hand, is very, very good at has been really improving his play when it comes to not only enchanters but also these kind of more engaged tanks. And he's been having a really good time learning how to play this different style. He's been ever since he started playing the game. He has really gravitated towards playing enchanters and kind of backline mage supports, and this season he's been stepping up a lot and playing some of these more engaged and aggressive lanes. So I think now that he has an understanding of how enchanters play, and he has the ability to play these long range engaged tanks, that the bot lane matchup is going to be really, really important and cool to watch, because he's going to be able to know how the enemy support wants to play, and he's going to be able to play around that and hopefully gain an edge that way.
Okay. Well, we have just a little bit more here for you. We have, if your team was in a skin line, what skin line would they be in?
What skin line would we be in? Ooh, this is a hard one. Oh, there's so many skin lines. I think I'm trying to think. We really like that one skin line that just came out for Chinese New Year. What was it? The Mecha Kingdoms skin line.
Yeah,
was actually pretty cool. We all of us have liked the aesthetic there. That, or maybe like the the Sugar Rush skin line. We all think that one's a lot of fun. It's got a couple of champions there that we like. Poppy's kind of a secret pick; no one knows about it, but we don't ever play it in Seal. But it's kind of a fun solo queue or a flex queue pick, as we have a couple players that like to whip out the Poppy and the Ivern. And I think it's kind of a fun Friday night game session. So yeah, I'd definitely say we're either one side, Mecha Kingdoms, and then also we really like the Sugar Rush skin line.
Okay, that's good coming out you. So what else do you want to say going into this finals?
I just want to, good luck to Shiststorm. We both had seasons of ups and downs, and I think, we're really looking forward to the match on Saturday. Just bring your A game, and we'll see you there.
Any other call outs you want to do?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Nutcase, for joining me. And remind the audience here, when is your finals?
I believe we play on Saturday. What was it? I think it's 6 Eastern?
8
Eastern? That's 5 p.m. my time. Yeah, sorry. I was going to look at that today. You caught me off guard. I've had school all week, man. You can't have me keep track of these things. 8 Eastern. All right. Well, I'll see you all at 8 Eastern on Saturday.
Oh, we are definitely looking forward for a great finals matchup. Thank you, my man.
All right. Have a good one.
And I'm back here with the final Freljord finals preview with Shiststorm and this team, 3 versus 5. And I think both the teams broke this down very importantly. Top lane is going to be kind of fighty and chaotic. One's going to play tank style One's going to try and play bruiser and really push that, make that split push a priority. The junglers, we have a jungler that's going to be a little bit more fast, up pace, kind of focus on themselves, but maybe take more objectives, while one's going to make sure he's in the right place at the right place at the right time for his team. Mid lane is going to be completely volatile on how it's going to go and how the champion pools are going to just clash against each other. That's all going to be really draft dependent. But ultimately, this becomes a bot lane focused matchup. Can the tanks protect the AD carries? Can the enchanters enchant the AD carries properly? Proper CC layering or healing, shielding, slows, all those things go into the bot lane, and whichever team can process through this bot lane is better in this finals matchup is gonna win. This is too close for me to call. I haven't had a chance to watch this team's semifinals match yet, but Shitstorm looked really good in their match, so I don't want to call it without getting that full opportunity to watch this team's match, because sadly that one wasn't able to be streamed live. So this is the AMO completely chickening out. Bak. I'm not picking anyone. I'm going to say it does go 3 games. So each team's going to take 1 win. And then game 3, I think it's going to come down to picks and bans. And that first, I'm going to say like 3 to 4, like player team fight near Dragon. Could be I'm going to say the second Dragon. So like maybe 4 players on each team, or 5 and 4, or that first kind of like team fight skirmish for the second Dragon, or like kind of hereabouts the second Dragon. That's going to be the key to who wins this matchup. That's a long shot for me coming out of this one. I just want to thank everyone for being in the Freljord division this season, as everyone else that's watching this that's been a part of SEAL. Hopefully you just, you show up Saturday night if you can. I know it's a weekend, but show up, support your teams, support your friends, and just support the community overall. I want to thank you again for coming and chilling with me this evening, and I cannot wait for this finals and to get ready for all of our seasons in 2021. Everyone, have a good night and stay frozen.